Good morning, friends. The President of India on 16th March 2020 gave his nod and nominated retired CJI Sri Ranjan Gogoi to be a member of the Rajya Sabha. I am sure that you know, according to Article 80, Clause 3 of the Constitution of India, the President will nominate 12 Rajya Sabha members and the other 238 members, they will be nominated to the Council of States from the different states. These 12 people will be nominated by the President of India under his seal and handwriting. Right. In the same 80 clause 3, it clearly says that the persons who are going to be nominated by the President of India, shall be skilled persons or persons having specialized knowledge as well as the practical experience in literature, art, science and public service. Normally, these people will be elected to the Rajya Sabha, which is called as the Council of States and also the place of elderly people. The people who are having so much of knowledge, only they will be eliminated. They will be elevated to the post. Just like art means Madam Rekha, famous film actress Sachin Tendulkar, for that part, right? Here we have to feel happy because the post got vacated due to the period of Advocate KTS Tulsi. He was completed and therefore Sri Ranjan Gogoi has been nominated. And of course we have to feel happy because he is also from a political family. His father worked as the Chief Minister of Assam State. So when once the nomination has been published in the press and electronic media, there are so many comments, criticisms on his the so-called nomination also. So one press notice like this. So the nomination disturbs the public faith in the judiciary. Right? There are definitely there are people who support him, there are who oppose him, there are proponents, there are opponents. Of course, it's quite common. But please remember, in the case of Roser Matthew versus South Indian Bank Limited 2019, the Constitution Bench consisting of the same CJI. This is a tribunal case, members, retired people getting occupied to the tribunals. In that case, it has been written that why one cannot expect justice from those who, on the verge of retirement, throng the corridors of power for looking for post-retirement posts. That means you cannot get justice from the people who expect post-retirement postings. And this was the comment, and now we have to see that he retired on 17th November 2019, and within 4 or 5 months of his retirement he occupied the post. There are certain occasions where the Supreme Court judges, they took the so-called political postings also. During the year 1993, Shri Baharul Islam, of course, he resigned for the post of judge and he contested the Rajya Sabha, got elected. In 1998, ex-CJI, Raghunath Mishra, he was appointed as Rajya Sabha. Of course, there were some time gap. For him, there was a time gap around 5 years or so. Immediately after retirement, Mr. Agarwal, he took post as National Green Tribunal. So, of course, there was a necessity for the post because that post has to fill up with the retired judges. Therefore, he can defend himself. But here the point is, within 4 or 5 months of his retirement, he was given the post. It is quid pro quo, as stated by none other than Justice Korean Joseph. Yes, very clear. Justice Madan B. Lokur, he also stated that what about the integrity, independence, and independence of the judiciary? Integrity, independency of the judiciary. What happened? So, regards in that case. So, here we have to just recollect the words of former Law Minister and Finance Minister Sri Arun Jaitley. He is no more. He used to sarcastically say there are two types of judges. Number one, judges who know the law. Number two, judges who know the law minister. You might have understood. Therefore, he suggested that there should be a time gap of minimum 2 years. That is what is called cooling period, which the Supreme Court stated in so many umpteen number of judgments. The Supreme Court stated that post-retirement jobs should not be taken up by any government servant within the cooling period of 3 years. At least Arun Jaitley sir said 2 years. So he is in heaven. He is no more. So these are the words used by Arun Jaitley. So definitely we expect. That's why all these things are, because in the famous case of Keshavananda Bharati, 1973, the Supreme Court held that Article 368 gives powers to the Parliament to amend the Constitution, but they cannot go and destruct the basic structure. That means the basic structure should not at all be destroyed, destructed. So, independence of judiciary is one of the basic structure doctrines. Independence of the judiciary. And another principle of judiciary is that justice not only should be done, but justice should appear to have been done. Right? So now controversies are taking a more quantum in this regard. So now during the tenure of CJI Sri Ranjan Gogoi, he has dealt with different cases. Of course, some of the people are not happy, no doubt. I cannot say, we cannot comment on the judgment given by a judge, but these are the feelings of the persons like this. So, CBI case, Alok Verma versus Rakesh Asthana. So, they moved around the Supreme Court. They were made to wait in the Supreme Court till 4:45 p.m. Ultimately, the verdict is nearly defunct by the time everything is completed. Second is Rafale scam. So Rahul Gandhi, continuously used to give press statements. Entire 2019 elections he has completed on this. Ultimately, Modi ji was given clean chit. It is a shaky clean chit in view of some of the. Then electoral bonds, inordinate delay, indefinite delay. It was not at all seen the light. Then Article 370. Supreme Court has in so many judgments stated Article 370. So the court did not interfere in the habeas corpus petitions in the Kashmir Valley. And Ayodhya issue also. What is Ayodhya case? Of course, Supreme Court has, we cannot comment, but Supreme Court, basically it is a land dispute or dispute regarding a title. No doubt, Supreme Court has solved it very amicably. At the same time, using the powers under 141 of the Constitution, they also directed the government to allot 5 acres of land to the Muslims to construct the mosque. But this is a slightly questionable legal soundness. The legal soundness is questionable. Likewise, at that time, people used to comment, the Supreme Court is in sync with the Prime Minister's office. More than that, I don't want to tell. Like NRC case. Actually, this judge, hailing from the state of Assam, is interested. At that time, the advocates also asked him to actually recuse himself from the case, but he did not budge. Even though he is personally interested, he did not budge. And he said NRC is 100% correct. Of course, we thought that because he is a man from Assam and he is a man from East, that area, he knows well. But his personal interest it has now costed. There are so many hesitations against the CAA, NRC and NPR is also burning. And the transfer of Justice Akil Qureshi, he was transferred to some place, but the government kept actually literally slept over the file. Ultimately, after goading only, they transferred him to Meghalaya High Court, much to the discernment of all the legal fraternity. So all these things are one side. The second, in April 2019, a woman staffer of the Supreme Court India itself, she leveled allegations of sexual harassment against the same CJI, and she has sent 20 affidavits along with all the evidence, all the 22 judges, and immediately he convened the CJI, convened the bench, and he stated that 20 years of my unblemished service in the Supreme Court as a law officer, and with a man with a bank balance of rupees 6 lakhs or so, is it the reward they give? There is a greater criminal conspiracy, tremendous criminal conspiracy behind all these things, he commented. And of course he got down on some initiative, some standard, some inquiry has been conducted, and she was not willing to attend the inquiry because she was not given a copy of the proceedings, and she could not understand the language of the court. There were so many problems arose, and her husband and other family members were hounded like anything. Her husband, who was working as head constable, he was suspended. This woman was given all, so many things happened, and ultimately he was given a clean sheet. It's okay. But when once he retired, what happened? Now that woman took position in the same Supreme Court itself. Now there is a conspiracy. What happened to that greater conspiracy? We don't know. So, like that, so many things happened. Anyway, here it is the larger question of morality. And the constitutional morality, we can call it. Every time so many people, the judges will come in at constitutional morality, doctrine of constitutional implementation, right? So we have, I forgot to tell about Sadashivam, CJI. In 2014, he took charge as the governor of Kerala. At that time itself, we discussed about this, of course, as in the classes, we discussed about his position also, having retired as a CGI, having contract, he has control over all the entire, next to president is CGI. In the absence of president, the entire sovereign power vests with the CGI. Now he is taking post of the governor. Now this man, Gogoi, going and taking post of Rajya Sabha member, doesn't look nice to us, right? In lastly, to conclude, of course, yesterday, Ranjan Gogoi, he stated that he will bridge the gap, or he will be catalyst between legislature and judiciary, and he will raise the voice of the judiciary in the legislature, and definitely for that purpose only he humbly accepted the posting. Of course, today he may give a press statement, he may give in detail as to why he accepted the report and things. To conclude, I want to say, during the year, of course, January 12/1/2018, I believe, if I am correct. So, the Gogoi, along with Justice Shalameshwar, Madan B. Lokhu and Korean Joseph, they have come out openly and stated that things are not well in the Supreme Court, and if they do not bring it to the notice of the public, they are not discharging their duty. After giving the press meeting, he said they have discharged our debt to the nation. We expected that the same vigor will be continued with the CJI, but of course, we are sorry to say that reverse things happened. Anyway, things whatever happened, he will definitely become Rajya Sabha member. We cannot object, whatever it is, but these are the controversies, of course. Please remember, these are not my points. I have collected the same from press and electronic media, and I am telling you, right? Finally, to conclude, in the famous case of Master of Roaster, Justice Deepak Mishra, it was stated, erosion of the credibility of justice erosion of the credibility of justice in the public mind is greatest threat to the independence of the judiciary. So we have to think. Let us stop here because continuously commenting on the judges may not be good. But these are the things which are coming in the paper, in the press and electronic media also. Anyway, let us hope that Sri Ranjan Gogoi will perform well as a member of the Rajya Sabha. Thank you very much.